how it was this season for you. It was special to win this title more than the other ones.
I mean, they've all been very different, but I do think that this one was very rewarding at the end of the day. It's not always been the easiest for us as a team, and to come away with that championship, I really felt it when I crossed the line in Vegas. I was like, it's done. It's been challenging at times, but I'm very proud of how we handled everything.
Yeah, it was great, to be honest. I went out with the team, celebrated with everyone, which was so nice to share those that special moment with them, because Vegas in itself is such a challenging weekend. The time zone, everyone's so tired and knackered, and then just to get such a surprise victory and dominant weekend was special to be with them.
We arrive every weekend with the same preparation and the same mindset, but sometimes you arrive and you're off the more often than not you arrive and you're off the pace, and the last one came as a surprise. I think going into this weekend, we're hoping it's a lot cooler, so we're hoping that it's not far off performance-wise as last week, but we'll find out tomorrow. But fingers crossed. I really hope we can have a good battle at the front.
I mean, last 2 races of the season, and we need to do absolutely everything in order to get that Constructors' Championship. That's all that matters. And whatever happened in Vegas, we discussed about it, and we are all good, which is the most important thing. I had no doubts about that, because we've always had a really good relationship with Carlos, and we've had races where sometimes things don't go exactly the way we want. But the most important thing is that we discuss about it and we go forward. And it's very clear for both of us that we just want to win the Constructors, and it's by working as a team that we'll achieve that.
We've definitely talked about it and come to conclusions by talking about things, and we're definitely ready to move on from that race weekend. That definitely wasn't a very good race day for both of us, and now we are just looking forward, to win the championship, fight for this Constructors title the best way we can, and by working together like we've been working together for 4 years, and trying to put together the best possible end to the season.
Maybe I don't sound it or look it at times, but I'm confident with what I have and what I'm capable of doing. Did I maybe show that at every point this year? Probably not. But in those times, I think I've learned a lot, and even those times have been within the last month and 2 months, especially. So I've probably not shown it this year, which I can confirm and I can admit, but I definitely think I have what it takes to challenge next year. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and I think there's still going to be things I struggle with and maybe not perfect with going into next year, but a lot more prepared than I was this year.
I'm not too concerned about the cold conditions. I think it's a layout that should suit us hopefully well. But I think Mercedes will be strong again. I think the cold conditions do suit them, and it's not so much layout related for them. I think it's just whether it's cold or not. So I think for them they'll be strong. Ferrari and Red Bull we'll wait and see. But I'm confident that we'll be competitive regardless of the conditions that we get. So I'm confident we can at least hang on to our lead. Hopefully extend it. That would be good. But we'll have to wait and see.
I think Vegas, mainly the main issue we had was qualifying. We were out in Q1. Straight away after qualifying, we understood why. We saw it. It was very clear in the data. But then we were on the back foot, and then going on to the race, with the degradation that we had, we were not expecting it to be so severe, especially in the beginning. So we went for the hard tire. Which I also degraded the hard tire, and that meant that I had to spend quite a lot of the race on the medium, so it compromised the race a lot, but we did have some good pace during the race.
We didn't manage to improve the car much throughout the season, so we started quite strong, but we are now in a position that we're struggling to be in Q3 in some occasions, but at the same time, all those difficulties, I think, probably are teaching us a lot of lessons, which we will apply into next year's car, and that will be probably the biggest positive aspect of this second part of the year. That even if we didn't succeed on putting much performance on the car, I think it's well understood what we are struggling at the moment. So that will be applying into 25.
Yeah, I mean, all the focus is on next year's car now. Only 2 races remaining, so we're going to try and finish the season off as strong as we can. We know it's tough for us at the moment. We haven't scored points in a few months, so yeah, full focus now on 25 and try and finish as strong as we can.
It's super important for the team to get as high up in the constructors as possible, and right now we're P6, 1 point to Alpine in P7, and then another 3 points I think to RB in P8. So it's that's a big swing. Whether we finish 6th or 8th, it's a very significant financial thing if we finish 8th instead of 6th. So I think all that prize money goes into development for the future, and therefore it's clear why it means a hell of a lot to the team that we finished 6th.
We've been in a better shape since Austin. We brought some new parts. We've managed to get to Q3 the last 4 weekends, and it seems like we found quite a nice flow. I think in Vegas we just made the best out of the conditions. It was quite tricky, street track, very cold. Got in a nice place with the car, and when we got to Q3 we had a single lap, but really managed to put everything to it, and it put us in a great place. So it was a great achievement, especially looking back. Bahrain, first race of the year, I lined up in 20s. We were absolutely nowhere. So when you look at all the evolution and development, definitely shows we're heading in the right direction, and it's definitely positive.
The mindset still remains, that we want to obviously do the best we can, and hopefully secure that 6th place in the Constructor Championship. It's a shame about the race in Vegas. I think there was a couple points available on the table, fighting with Nico in the race. But yeah, we didn't put it together, unfortunately, and we need to bounce back here and hopefully be on the better end of things.
A clear target is 6th in the constructors. For us, we're focused on that. For me, that means scoring points, and which is obviously my target as well. So that's what we're focused on, and that's the expectation from across the board.
Yeah, feeling confidence for myself. Yeah, it's been a good battle previously with the Haas, and we just have to finish off next 2 races very high, and overtake them. It won't be easy for sure, but there's opportunity. Like for example, this round there's a sprint race, so if we're able to nail it in both races, and that'll be good points. So we maximum focus. Yeah.
Obviously, we had a few crashes, not always our fault, but in the end they add up, and testament to everyone who's worked so hard to get them back. We still got 2 cars that are at the track that are more than capable to score points and back to fighting fit. At least the cars are. So yeah, I think it's been tough, but everyone's been very strong, very optimistic, and I think that's Williams. I think everyone's very, very optimistic.
I'm fully recovered from Vegas. Of course, it was a tough weekend. It wasn't easy, but we learned from it. We are bouncing back stronger here. Gonna need to understand a little bit the car, how it's gonna work here in Qatar. After Vegas, we are running, the old spec in the front suspension in my car. So some old bits in the car that we need to understand how they work.
I think everyone in the team would really, after a tough season like this, would deserve to get even 1 point. So that still remains the target. I'll do everything I can to get it, and there's only 2 opportunities left, so we gotta make sure we make most out of
these upgrades. I think we wanted for a while now, and obviously finally to have that for both cars at the first time in a while as well in Vegas. So that was a pretty good step on the team, and it's clearly we saw in terms of numbers is probably the biggest one we had this season for all this new stuff we had, and it's clearly worked like we hoped. Is it enough or not? We will find out a little bit more in this weekend and also Abu Dhabi. But I think it's clearly a very positive step in terms of in the right direction.